Welcome to another episode on the Quiet Mind and Soul podcast, a podcast where I share some tips and I also share bits of my journey as a recovering perfectionist, where I tell, talk to you about some ideas that I have in order to overcome overthinking and fear of rejection and judgment and shame and all of these bad emotions that we often as perfectionists have. And in this episode, I will be talking about overwhelm and perfectionist tendencies with overthinking and also resistance. So, if this is something that you want to know more about, stick around and enjoy this episode. Today, I want to dive deep in the resistance and overwhelm feelings and emotions that we often have. And I wanted to tell you a story of it was this week that happened. I saw, I wouldn't say she's a friend, but she's someone that I know, but I don't see very often. And I saw her and I say, "Hi, how you doing? I haven't seen you for a while. What's up with you?" And she said, "Yes, this is happening. I'm not very happy with this, and I'm concerned about that, and I'm struggling to do this." And all I could hear was just negative and negative and negative. And I was in a happy mindset and just happy state before meeting her. And as soon as she left, and I said, "Oh my God, she just dumped all of her bad energy on me for me to carry home." And at that stage, I had to really decide if I was willing to accept the energy that she put on my shoulders, uh, or if I would put up a barrier and just said, "No, I'm not accepting your energy." And that's what I did. That's what I did. I had to put up this barrier to protect myself from those bad energies that I really believe that she wasn't even aware that she was sending those bad energies. And she's like this very, very often. Every time I see her, she the first thing that she says is not positive. Let's say that way. And I don't know if people do that as culture, or I'm pretty sure they don't do that on purpose. Sometimes people can do that to seek some attention, and they unconsciously can play the victim part, and it's easy to be, "Oh, poor me, this is what is happening in my life. Oh, so bad. Now I have to face my destiny, and this is just so difficult." And so people can often play the victim part, so that we feel bad for them somehow, and they get attention that they are seeking. And that just shows that they are not really accepting themselves, and they are resisting the process. And by saying, "Oh, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this that is coming up in my future, and I'm just worried about this, overwhelmed," you are accepting, you are not accepting, in fact, you are resisting that idea. And by resisting that idea, you're making yourself feel miserable, and you're making your everyday life very difficult. And along that process, you are making other people feel some negative emotions as well, because you are transferring that energy. Sometimes you're not aware of it, but you are transferring. And so some people that may not be aware of this, change of energy between people and objects and animals and everything, they cannot put up their barrier in a fastly manner, and so they absorb other people's energies, and as they absorb, they start to feel the way that that person was feeling, and this can cause really serious problems. So you might start to think, oh, this person told me this problem that they have, and this made me think about my problems, and some problems, quote unquote, that you thought that you had, they were not so important up until now. And it was when this person came to you and talked about their problems that you decide, oh, okay, so let me go back inside and just really analyze everything, overthink everything. Maybe if they have this problem and I want to be part of the team, so to speak, I have to find a problem for myself to be able to relate to this person. And why do you want to relate to other people's problems? Because we want to fit in, we want to belong. And so if we have perfectionists tend to be people pleasers. And so if you are trying to please and to be a giver to someone else, and if they are experiencing a problem, you will look for a problem of your own so that you can relate to them and somehow help them, and maybe even relieve their problem by telling them yours, that maybe yours is has is worse in a way than theirs, so they can feel better about themselves and feel bad for you and your problem. But how is this serving you? Overthinking and starting to go in a vicious cycle on your mind, and you just get all of this negative self-talk, and you procrastinate eventually, obviously, because you spend a lot of time just thinking and thinking and thinking and getting excuses to make you feel even worse. And then you say that you don't have time to do the things that you need to do. Yeah, so that's one part of the issue there with overthinking and overwhelm, that we absorb other people's emotions and energy. So it's important to bring this to the awareness state, when you are aware of this energy that's surrounding you, and you understand that it's okay, you have the permission to put up the barrier. It doesn't mean not be compassionate towards their struggles or not to be kind. No, it's not like that. You can be kind and you can be empathetic, but you can stop yourself from feeling what they're feeling. You don't have to be exactly in their shoes, exactly in their situation, to relate to what they are experiencing, and to relate and to understand what they're going through and their emotions, and especially how it is affecting them. So it is important to know how and when to put up that barrier to protect yourself, and to understand, okay, I'm understanding and I am listening to what you're saying, and I feel bad that you are going through this moment. I'm here to help you if there's anything that I can do just let me know. And also, I will protect my energy. Obviously, this is not something that you're going to tell them. You are going to protect your own energy from theirs. And this goes with positive energies as well. Sometimes we may choose not to absorb other people's positive energies because at a given moment is not serving us. So it's important to know how to use this tool to your benefit and when to use it. Sometimes it's too late already when we start to set boundaries, because people start to talk and talk and talk, and you don't put up that barrier, and it's already too late. You already absorbed all the energy. You're already too tired, too frustrated, and it's too late to stop to absorb that energy. And another way that we can feel overwhelmed is that we make it so that we ourselves are deciding to become overwhelmed. So either way, either situation that I just said, you are making yourself overwhelmed. You are making a conscious decision or unconscious decision to become overwhelmed, because you identify a situation or an emotion as too much to bear, so you cannot cope with that emotion and with that idea. And so you might think that you don't have time, or you have too much on your hands and cannot make a decision, don't know exactly the way to go, the direction that you want to take. And this can also be your perfectionist tendencies speaking, because you don't know, because you don't know what's best. And when I hear people say that they don't know what's best, I ask myself, and sometimes ask them if they are my coaching clients, best compared to what? Better than what? So it's always reframing this idea and putting it in perspective, because sometimes people put their ideas on a pedestal, and it's so idealistic, if that's the word that I'm looking for. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's so like godlike that they forget the real reason why they want to achieve a certain goal, or why they are pursuing this best idea. And yeah, it's always reframing and understanding that either way, what will bring them the most peace, or what will make them feel better about themselves. And this causes an inner conflict. And to resolve that inner conflict, you can do a lot of things. I do a technique with my clients that is very, very good. It's very time consuming, and it's a tough process. But the end result is this tremendous peace, and it's a big transformation that happens usually within 1 hour. And it's so great to see people's mind just shift from a place of scarcity, and just shifted that to a place of abundance, where they are just loving themselves and believing that they are enough, and that believing that they are worthy of great things and great success in their life. And this inner conflict also comes, again, like I was saying, from people pleasing. And when we are always trying to please everyone and not paying attention to our true needs and what we actually want for our lives, we are just living our lives for other people, and maybe our parents, or maybe our partner, or what society expects of us. And we forget that no one can live our life for ourselves. So we are in power, and we decide how we feel and what we want to do in this world. What's our legacy going to be? And if your parents said that you have to be a doctor, but you don't want to be a doctor, maybe it's best not to, because you have people's lives in your hands. So yeah, it's just a matter of knowing, being aware of who you are, and what your values are and what your beliefs are, and who you are doing the things that you are doing for. Is it really for you, or is for society, for someone else, or maybe what you think you have to do for your life? And also, we overthink because that gives us an excuse to inaction, and that is comfortable, because when you have too much on your plate and you can't really make a decision, it's easy to go and take a nap or go and not watch Netflix, and it's just easy and comfortable to not have to think what's your next step, and not have to plan exactly what you want to do next, because when you have a structure, your brain is more compelled to follow that structure. And if that structure and that plan is a good one, your brain will be, oh my god, yes, let's do this, let's complete this, and let's achieve this goal. But when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Is that what they say? Hopefully. I didn't mean to say it like that, but yeah, but it is true. So is it like that? When you fail to plan, you plan to fail? Yes, it is like that. So yeah, all of this to say that when you have a structure, your brain wants to follow through and wants to get you there. And when you have too much to think about, you don't have time to plan, and you don't have time to follow this structure, so you don't have to follow it, and you don't have to be held accountable of the results. And because we, as procrastinators, as perfectionists and overthinkers, we associate our self-worth to our results and what people say of us. And every time that I'm recording an episode, my email just goes off. Oh my god, let's just turn off the notifications. What was I saying? I was saying that, oh, let me remember. I was saying that every time that we procrastinate, have perfectionist tendencies, and overthink, we are not held accountable, and so that's safe for us, because oftentimes, oh, I remember, that took a while. We associate our self-worth with our results and what people say of us. That's why we are always seeking external validation, because when we get praise, we we are just associating that with, okay, so this person said that I'm good, so that must be true. And so we are always seeking evidence and proof that in fact we are as people say we are, and we are good. But oftentimes we hear praise, we hear just these compliments, and we don't really believe them, or we choose not to believe them because, again, we are playing the victim part, and we are um, very much in need of these constant compliments. And it's when you start to give compliments to yourself and you start to nurture the relationship with yourself, that's when you really see your self-worth. Your self-worth is not attached to your results, and is definitely, most definitely, not attached to what people say about you, because that's their opinion. They have their set of beliefs, they have their set of choices and values, and their personality. They are completely different people than you. They will never be able to say anything about your self-worth. So yeah, it's only up to you when you start to nurture that relationship with yourself, and when you say affirmations that are powerful, empowering you, and that's when you start to take action, because the idea is not to replace a bad thought with a positive one. That's not the idea. The idea is, okay, I'm having a negative or a not so good thought, so what can I do? Is always have that curiosity in mind. Okay, I'm experiencing this right now. What is this trying to teach me? What is the things that I can learn from this, or what is this bringing to the surface? What is my unconscious self trying to tell me, trying to bring to my awareness? So it's always to have that curious mind, and to be truthful to you, who you are, without fear of judgment, because, like I said, people don't really know and will never know exactly who you are, because they are not you, and the only person that can value yourself is you. So yeah, I think that's the idea that I had for you. And if you are struggling with procrastination and just overthinking and getting overwhelmed with all the things that you have to do and not have enough time, or not have enough encouragement from other people, encourage yourself first, and take a few deep breaths, and count down. It's really useful. So far I've been doing that. So count down from 5 up to 0, and as you do that, you are telling a message to your unconscious mind to do the task right now. So you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and now your brain is ready to go, and you go your way. And if it happens so that you count down and you don't actually do it, it's okay. So don't blame yourself, and just be kind to yourself and compassionate towards yourself, and accept that you are making a decision to procrastinate. You are making the decision to do everything in your life. It's in your power, it's in your responsibility. And sometimes you are afraid of that responsibility. I know that I've been afraid of having responsibilities a lot of the times. When I was younger, I thought responsibilities were a good thing. It made me look more adult, more grown up. Little did I know that when I did grow up, I wanted to go back, reverse to not having responsibilities. But yeah, responsibilities are good, and when it is for your success, that's when it's really, really good. So be responsible for your success and for your quote unquote failure. Be responsible for everything, and also if you give up, be responsible for that. Show up for yourself with kindness, and embrace yourself, hug yourself, and always think about what you would say to your best friend. You would never say, "Oh, what a loser. I knew that you would never make it. I knew that this was just you trying to do a different thing and always reversing to your old ways." So be kind. You wouldn't never say that. Hopefully, you wouldn't say that to your best friend. If you do, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be your best friend. Um, so hopefully this episode gave you some good tips on how to stop feeling overwhelmed, and remember that you are in power. So you are making the decision to choose overwhelm over taking action, because it might be more comfortable not taking action. But I want you to think of how long can you live like this? How long can you not take action? And how is it impacting your life? Just procrastinating and not taking action on your dreams. And where are those limiting beliefs that you are thinking and you are having that are stopping you? And this is exactly what we will uncover if you decide to book a call with me. So I have a purposeful and mindful living assessment call that you can book on my Instagram. If you go my Instagram, my handle is at Coach Joana Calado. I'll leave it in the show notes. And I actually have a freebie. So it's a journal your way to a more confident self in 5 days. So within 1 week, less than 1 week, 5 days, I get you all the tips to journal yourself to become more confident and more have more self-love and self-awareness as well. And I also give you a template that you can use on your journal routine every day with the different sections. And that is really, really useful. Journaling is such a good thing that I enjoy to do. I usually freestyle, just free write. Sometimes I just write what I'm thinking, what I'm going through, and that makes me feel a lot better. So yeah, just go to my Instagram and download the freebie. And also, if you're interested to have a more guidance on one-on-one, I have and want to become a founding member of my one-on-one coaching program, go ahead and book. I have a button on Instagram that you can click, and that will direct to booking a call with me. And I would be really happy to see you and to meet you. Well, I was going to say face to face, but it's over Zoom, so it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, so go ahead and book that, and I would be happy to connect with you. And I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next week. Bye.